Hey guys, this is Ben with No Accent Callers. One of the most important things that I just can't stress enough is pipeline management and follow-up. It's the difference between winning deals and losing deals. It's the difference between competition who has more social proof, more money to spend on acquisition, and winning the deal. And I think too many real estate wholesalers, not even just real estate wholesalers, but business owners in general, who are wondering why their marketing isn't working, who's wondering why their sales team isn't closing the way that they don't want to close. It's actually not what's going on the call. It's not the leads. It's actually what's happening after the call. Because if you were now working in this like high ticket remote closer space, it's a bunch of pussies, a bunch of princess closers who, oh, I could do 25K a month taking warm webinar calls, and if they're not ready to buy on the call, then that's a bad lead. I need to DQ them. And the thought of follow-up, the thought of pipeline management, the thought of CRM hygiene doesn't even come across. So this is predominantly not for like e-com people, but for anybody who has some type of, phone sales. Phone sales could be Google, Zoom. It could also be over the phone. And typically follow-up is when your sales process isn't a one-call close. And obviously you want to optimize for one-call closes, but 85% of the deals, at least on my team, come into the follow-up. And typically we see 14 and 15 touch points to actually get the deal across the finish line. And a reason why this is so important is because a lot of sales is actually timing. You can have the best objection handling, the best discovery. This is all super important. And if you do not do that well on the first call, it will make the follow-up just impossible and not even worth the time. But assuming you took care of everything on the marketing side, it's a good lead, you actually did your job on the discovery call. What happens after the call is far more important. And one of my sales reps, we closed a 3-month paid up front. And the best part is that it was a deal between myself and then one of my competitors. But one of my competitors has a big organic presence. They don't spend any on ads. Is known as like one of the gurus in the space. And for me, I just run Facebook ads. So it's all cold traffic, people who don't know us, who don't like us, who don't trust us. I got 1,000 followers on Instagram, and each one of these YouTube videos get 10 views compared to the other guy who gets hundreds and thousands of views. Like, it's night and day. And I remember we won the deal, and the guy texted, the sales rep of the other company texted my closer saying, hey, call me back in 3 months when you waste your money. He was pissed that he lost the deal. But why were we able to get the deal from someone who didn't know us, who didn't like us, who didn't trust us? My closer was right on his motherfucking ass on the follow-up, call over, email, sending follow-ups, having our 3-day or 5-day or 7-day cadence on top of them every single time. Because with sales, they're going to spend the money. They're going to close the deal regardless, whether it's with you or your competition. Well, that is up to skill. And skill is a combination of like your marketing, but also the sales and just being in front of them when they are ready. So how do you have really good CRM management and pipeline organization? Well, a big mistake that I used to make as a closer, as a sales manager, was just like hoping to cash collect, and then, there was more meetings coming on. And marketing and sales is like water in a cup. You could pour unlimited water into the cup, but if the cup is full of holes, it doesn't matter. And through being a shitty sales manager and not having the desired sales results that I've wanted in months in business, I had to, 1, learn how to plug holes in the system, aka sales management, but 2, actually get obsessed with it. And if you're running a sales team, if you're doing the closing yourself, it really starts with decision fatigue. Well, actually, before it even starts with decision fatigue, it actually happens on the call. So one of the worst things that you could do in the follow-up is objection handle. Hey, if you are objection handling in the follow-up, that means you didn't do your discovery call right. Okay, let's just assume you did your discovery call right, and it was a pure logistical objection or a pure fear one that you couldn't get over. Next is your actual cadence. So if you have your call and it's over and you're wondering what to do next, who to follow up with, you've already lost the battle. Because in sales, your time needs to be spent in the most efficient way possible. So having a cadence right away that when a call is over for the next 30 days, you know exactly what you need to do is very, very important for the efficiency of your follow-up. So boom, call is over. Email recap is sent. Okay, cool, that's day 0. Day 1 is, hey, cool, did you check that stuff out? Cool, man, how's it going? Day 2 is we're sending over case studies, we're sending over testimonials, sales assets, and depending on the call, you need to, 1, get the permission to follow up, but 2, actually have a follow-up date, because the worst thing that could happen is be like, I just gotta talk about it with my partner. Well, one, is that the real objection? Two, we don't have a date, and then we just get into purgatory where we're constantly spinning our wheels. So what we need to do is really tie them down on one singular objection, and two, tie them down on a follow-up date and get permission to follow up with them, because the best follow-up, you're spamming the fuck out of these motherfuckers. Memes, case studies, testimonials, and if you do it without permission, you're gonna burn the lead. But as a sales rep, what is our job? Our job is to follow up. So one thing that I taught all my reps is at the end of the call, we isolate the objection, man. Hey man, like, cool, when is a date for me to follow up with you on? And if they give some like bullshit, like wishy-washy of like, oh, I don't know, man, like next week. Hey man, like, between me and you, you are a business owner. And my job as a sales rep, break that fourth wall, is to follow up with. Hey, if you just don't tell me like what's going on and you just say follow up whenever, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call you, I'm gonna text you, I'm gonna email you for 35 days straight. I'll do that. And I know you don't want me to do that, but dude, I know today's Monday right now. Like, is there a day later in the week that you'll have a decision yes or no by? Yeah, Thursday. Cool. So now we have permission to follow up with them on Thursday. So from Monday, from Thursday, that's when we're sending our case studies, our testimonials, our social proof, we're checking in on them. But then it's set for Thursday. And what happens on Thursday will determine whether or not the follow-up gets into go mode or the deal gets closed. Hey, you call them up, and if they have a decision, yes or no. If they say, nope, I don't want to do this, that's fine. People will say no in your sales process all the time. We want no's, but what we don't want is purgatory. Oh, I want to think about it. Dude, what's up, man? You said you wanted to talk to your partner, blah, 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 blah. Me and you, we are business owners. Like, you can keep it real with me, man. Otherwise, I'm going to bug the fucking shit out of you until you give me a yes or a no. Because remember how you said you wanted to grow your business in that last call? Do you not want to grow your business anymore? Boom, negative self-identification with them. Obviously, they want to grow their business. So now that we've isolated that they do want to grow their business and they're still not giving us a straight answer, they're backed into a corner where they either tell us what the true objection is or they say they're ready to go. But if we need to get the true objection, it goes back to what's going on in the original sales call, is that we didn't do our job. Because at the end of a sales call, especially in B2B, where majority of these business owners don't make decisions on one call, and if they do, they'll do it fucking right away. But they need to talk to a partner, because that is a real objection that people can give. We need to know exactly what is going on, when to follow up with, and what is holding us back. Because if there is multiple objections, oh, I got to talk with my partner about price and we don't know this is the right time, smokescreen, didn't do your fucking job. So if we have one, we can isolate it and we can corner them, and then we can figure out what the fuck is going on to get a yes or a no. This will condense sales cycles. This will increase your follow-up rate. This will increase your close rate. And get obsessed with this, because part of being obsessed with the follow-up is the organization of that. So for example, I now have my sales reps at the end of every single day with their end of day call forms. They're going to list out 5 no-shows, 5 cancels, 5 call helds, 5 contracts signed, 5 closed lost. Those are pipelines within our CRM that they're going to call every single day. Because another gap within the follow-up is just when leads fall through, man. It's hard to stay organized. It's hard to know what you need to do and who to call next. And you don't want to spend brain power, aka decision fatigue, on who to do it. So at the end of the day, when you're doing your end of day call form, just throw in who you're going to call next. And it's going to make it so much easier for your pipeline and who to call the next day.